Five Out Basketball, five segments, five takes. This is the podcast for NBA conversations. This is Five Out Basketball, and it starts in 3, 2, 1.
But I need to show love to a team before we call an end to the Joey LeMaster show. Because I always watch the podcast. I gotta be loyal to myself. And I watched Everton's show last week where he was talking about the playoff contenders and pretenders. And Everton said, Joey is going to be so mad when I don't have the Knicks on the contenders list. You're absolutely right. I'm going to be furious because that's an outrageous statement by Everton. Let's get into this nonsense. I can't believe he would disrespect a team like this. The New York Knicks are 23rd in points per game, which isn't a lot, but they're second in points per game allowed. They're in the bottom half of the field goal percentage, but they hold teams back, and they are currently the fourth team in the East. This is the best defensive team in the NBA with after that OG Anunoby trade. That guy is a dog. And this is why the Knicks can compete with anybody because Everton loves to talk about how the playoffs, they score down and gets more defensive. That's Knicks in the Tibbs game. That's what they do. They clamp teams up and stop them from scoring. So the playoffs are going to slow down. That's only when the Knicks are going to speed up because that's their style of play. Quit disrespecting this. In their lineup, Jalen Brunson has taken the all-star jump. Love Becky Hammond, and I know she said that one bad take about Jalen Brunson not being a star because he's short, and people have said, "Oh, she's a woman; she doesn't know what she's talking about." She does, but she was wrong here. I'm gonna keep she's 100% wrong on this one, but respect her as an analyst, please. Let's not be misogynistic now. Come on now. But Jalen Brunson has taken that star. He's an incredible scorer, and he was always not forgetting to the Bucky because he's a big short guy. He's not built like me. He's not sticks. He's all meat. And Jalen Brunson gets into the paint, and he's really developed that 3-point shot this year. He's the number one scorer you want in the playoffs. Dante DiVincenzo, most underrated move of the offseason. The guy's an incredible defender, great 3-and-D player, and when you need him to get a bucket, he's gonna get it for you. And so I think he's a fantastic fit. He's a better playmaker than Jalen Brunson as well. So when Jalen Brunson is only playing this ISO ball, Dante just gonna be that guy who gets the ball to move around. And then at small forward, I really don't know. Like it's OG Anunoby now, but I want to show love to Josh Hart first because when OG got injured, the step up Josh Hart took was incredible. I've always liked Josh Hart, but I was so moved after this OG injury run because he was just producing some of the most ridiculous statistics. Like he did multiple triple doubles where he was pulling almost 20 rebounds a game and still having 10 assists. Like that's a player that's fun to watch. And he's an incredible defender as well. And he's shown during that run that he can get you a bucket as well. Then you have OG Anunoby, who's the best role player in the NBA. People say it's Derek White. I think OG is a better scorer than Derek White is, while they're both still incredible defenders. And the OG trade just evolved Knicks into being a championship contender because Tibbs is a guy who's going to play his stars 48 minutes a night. You get OG out there 48 minutes a night, clamping up a guy like Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, you name it. He's going to get them out of the game. It's just incredible. And then they got Julius Randle, who me and Everton will talk about this all the time. Hate watching Julius Randle play basketball, but he is good at what he does. I can't deny it. It's just not fun to watch at all. Then Isaiah Hartenstein, been an incredible season as well. We thought the Knicks were done after the Mitchell Robinson injury, but then Hartenstein just came in the lineup and did everything Mitchell Robinson does, arguably even better. I think he still gets you a bucket, but he's an incredible rebounder, fights for those offensive rebounds, and just that Knicks starting five is just five players that are giving you 150% every night. And I don't think any team in the East outside of the Celtics has a guy that will give you 100% every. Not even the Celtics. Jason Tatum doesn't give you 100% every night. Not to dog on him, but as I said earlier, there's nights where he will coast. Then you look at his bench. Bojan Bogdanovic, Alec Burks. You have two 3-point shooters when the starting lineup can't get that shot going. You have Precious Achiuwa, who's a dog. You have Miles McBride, who's taking a great jump this season. And Mitchell Robinson, who is rumored to be back from injury soon. If the Knicks get Mitchell Robinson, man, this big man rotation is just disgusting. It's just a bunch of big dudes who are going to make the game dirty for you. But the big question you have to ask about the Knicks is, can the Knicks win the East? So I want to look at the 8 teams starting from the bottom and see how they compare with or it's gonna be 7 teams and how they compare with the Knicks. The Miami Heat, the series would be an absolute dogfight, but I'm taking the Knicks in 5 games. I think the Heat can get one. The Heat just already suck at scoring the basketball, And now you go against the best defensive team in the NBA and you're scoring 60 points. Like it's gonna be that bad. And Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle are still guys that are gonna get you a bucket. So I don't really see a sweat in this one. The Pacers don't see a sweat in this one. This one could seriously be a sweep. I loved the Pacers for a while, but Tyrese Halliburton has just needed more time. Like he kind of slowed down after the injury. And I think coming into playoff time, that's not going to help because the Pacers were already an offensive juggernaut ahead of that. They just couldn't play defense. And now the offense is slowed down and you still can't play defense. Like it's just a nightmare scenario to have in the playoffs. So unfortunately, if the Pacers still had like I don't want to say prime Tyrese Halliburton, but had Tyrese Halliburton before the injury, I think this team could have been more of a problem. But as of now, I cannot see it. 76ers is a sweep. Joel Embiid's not going to be back in the playoffs. I don't think I've seen. If Joel Embiid was back, I think the Knicks would still win in like 6 games. But with no Embiid, this is an easy sweep. I'm not thinking about this at all. But then they get the Magic in the first round, and I said the Magic will give any team in the East a problem. The Knicks are the one exception. They're clamping up. I'm sorry, like Paolo Banchero is not scoring buckets on his Knicks team. Like he's a very inconsistent shooter. Like there's nights where he can get hot, but majority of his points are coming in the paint. And you have Mitchell Robinson in there, you have Julius Randle in there, you have Isaiah Hartenstein in there. It's just not good. The Magic style play isn't gonna work. You need guys that can stretch the floor, and the Magic aren't gonna stretch the floor. So the Knicks have a field day. I think they could be 5 games. I'm gonna say a sweep though. And then you get to the top three, which consists of the Celtics, Cavs, and Bucks. And this is really where it's going to decide if the Knicks can make it to the Eastern Conference, like to the finals, excuse me, because they can beat those bottom half teams, I think, easily, but it's going to get more competitive here. The Bucks, I'm still giving it to the Knicks. I think then this is why I love this Knicks team. I've been preaching it for months. I think the Knicks are legit. I'm going to show them their flowers. It's going to be a lot more competitive series though, because I think the Bucks have gotten better this past month and a half. They've improved defensively, and they're still an offensive juggernaut. It's just if the Bucks want to beat the Knicks, Damian Lillard has to get the 3-point shot falling, and he looked great at the All-Star game and has just not figured it out. And now he's gonna have OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, and Donte DiVincenzo defending him. It's just Dame's not gonna get hot against this team. It's just not going to happen. And Giannis is a freak of nature, and it doesn't matter if you have a team like the Knicks defense. Giannis is still giving you 30. I just don't think the Bucks have another guy to help out Giannis, so I think the Knicks can win this one in 6 to 7 games. And then the top two is where it's a bloodbath because you have two teams that have scores and can also defend. And with these other series, I've been able to confidently say the Knicks can win. Do I think the Knicks can beat the Cavs and the Celtics in a series? Absolutely. It's just not as easy. They're tough matchups because the Celtics and the Cavs, they're both teams that can defend. They're both teams that can get you a bucket and have stars all over the place. Like if we look at the Knicks versus the Cavs, you're gonna have OG Anunoby on Donovan Mitchell. They're gonna cancel each other out. You have Dante DiVincenzo, and you're gonna have Darius Garland. Dante's gonna be able to good defend Garland, but then the Cavs are gonna be able to defend Jalen Brunson with a Donovan Mitchell type player. And then those big guys, you have Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. It's gonna be so much harder to get in the paint. Just gonna be another low scoring series. I like the Knicks. The advantage I give the Knicks over the Cavs is I think the Knicks bench is far better. I know the Cavs have guys like Sam Merrill who've been coming off the bench getting buckets. Their depth doesn't compete with the Knicks. But when it comes to the playoffs, the depth cuts down and the stars are going to play more. And I think that I like the Cavs stars more than I like the Knicks stars. It's just that series can be a bloodbath. And then the Celtics, they have the best starting. Not I know it's not starting six, but if you look from six up, the Celtics have the top six in the NBA. But when it comes to the bench after that, I like the Knicks bench a little bit more. But the Celtics stars are going to play more, so I think I would have to say the Celtics would beat the Knicks, which pains me to say because Knicks are still my finals pick. It's just an awful matchup. It's just if you want to beat that series, you need to hope Jaylen Brown has another collapse and Jason Tatum can't take that like NBA championship star leap yet. And it helps when you have, Dante, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby to defend those guys. But they had the same caliber of guys that can defend Jalen Brunson. Like Derek White and Drew Holiday is the best defensive backcourt in the NBA. So it's just my thought on the Knicks is the Knicks can make I'm not gonna say they 100% will, but the Knicks are a team that's a championship contender, and that's why Everton, you're so lucky I wasn't on the podcast last week because I would have called that out on the spot. The Knicks are a championship contender. I'm not gonna let them be disrespected, but I can't say the Knicks are like a lock to make it out of the East. The East is a bloodbath, especially when you look at the Celtics, Cavs, and Knicks. It's a bloodbath. My overall rankings is I think the Celtics are the most likely team to make out of the East. Then I have the Cavs and Knicks tied. Maybe I give the Knicks a very slight edge, but I think I would have them tied at 2. And then I think it's everybody else. I think those are the top 3 teams in the East. And I'm not gonna let the Knicks get disrespected out here. That's my team breakdown on the Knicks. And that's gonna be it for the podcast today. I know it's a little shorter because these last 2 podcasts have been a little bit shorter because me and Everton going back and forth. But it is what it is. We'll be back for the 10th episode, and so excited. It's gonna be a fun episode. But as always, I like to end on something fun. So I have a would you rather for you guys, and I'll give my answer once I have like 5 seconds of silence. If you could give one player in the past healthy knees, who would it be? My pick would be Greg Oden. I know there's a lot of other guards you would like because they're more excited to play, but Greg Oden was supposed to be that guy, and you don't really have that many electric big men because he could score. He was a freak scorer, freak defender. Just he was held back by injuries. So if you can give Greg Oden healthy knees, he would have been a top 3 center in the NBA, even arguably top 1. He was that freaking talented. But thank you guys for tuning into the podcast. I'm Joey the Master, LeMaster, and I'll be back next week with Everton for our 10th episode. We're gonna finally reach double digits. So exciting. Thank you guys so much and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much for tuning into this segment of the 5 Out Podcast. I am Joey the Master, LeMaster, and me and Everton are so thankful for your guys' support. If you want to keep supporting us, please check out the full podcast on Spotify and follow our TikTok account. Both of those will be in the bio, and make sure to leave a like and stay smooth.